Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my beautiful people. This is your host, Allie. And let me tell you, it's been a week. How's everyone doing today? Is everyone good? Is everyone bad? Are we all okay today? My voice finally came back. Of course, if I start screaming and talking really loud, I'm gonna start coughing up a lung again, so that's not fun. Anyways, life decided to kind of overwhelm me this week with curveballs and decision making and blessings. So it's not all good, not all bad, kind of like a mix in there. So it's been a week, guys. Anyways, so today's topic is going to be mostly surrounded around music and how it makes me feel, my history with music. So mostly because if I don't play music throughout the day, I feel very out of place. If I go throughout the whole day without music, I'm what is going on? By the end of the night, I'm wait, what am I even doing? I literally won't remember anything that happened that day if I don't play music. It's so weird. So for me, with my background, I think the first time I was actually introduced, that I remember being introduced to music, is definitely with mariachi and ranchero music. Just because when I was a lot younger, my family used to play a bunch of that type of music because we had a lot of family parties, a lot of family parties. You guys don't even know, every month is a family party, right? But by the way, guys, I'm also outside again, so if you hear a skateboard around here, some birds, just know I am outside on my campus again recording. Anyways, back to the music. So yeah, we always had a bunch of family parties. They were literally the greatest, unless you got in trouble with your grandpa from the motherland and you had to sit out a few games. But other than that, they were the greatest things out there. And I just remember I was doing my youth, me being a toddler, it being mostly baracha and ranchero music. So I think that's probably why I'm so very close with it. I didn't really get into pop or even rock music until my parents separated, and that was around me being 8 to 10 is when I started discovering all those bands. So it's really, really interesting. So I just think with baracha and ranchero music, it's really cool because with my culture, family and community is very everything. We are very close to each other. We honor our living just like we honor our dead. So it's not oh yeah, I heard that at a concert one time and that's pretty much it. It's literally was in your household every single day, if not every single day, every Sunday morning, before church, after church. It was crazy. So that's when I remember listening to baracha and ranchero a lot. And what's cool about it is let's call her Marie. Let's say Marie was she forgot her earphones, she's on campus, and she decides to play baracha or even ranchero mariachi music on her tablet, on her laptop, and I'm walking by and I hear it and I'm hey, I know that song. And that's how a whole conversation starts. And next thing I know, she's telling me a story from a moment of some time and when her grandpa or her dad used to listen to it. So I think that's why it's really, really cool, because it literally builds friendship, especially because it's so embedded in our culture. It happened similar to me when I got into rock and punk music. So yes, that means it was during the time when my parents separated, okay? I went to listening from Aventura to listening to Linkin Park and My Chemical Romance. And it was interesting because it happened middle school, junior high. And that's actually when I started making my friends. And the reason why we became friends was we were listening to two very similar bands, if not even the same bands. So that's when me and her became friends, and we've been friends ever since. And then fast forwarding a little bit to junior high, so that's 7th, 8th grade. it was pretty much the same thing, but oddly enough, my friend pool was a lot bigger, like bigger. So there was like only 2 of us when I was in middle school. Junior high, there was like about 8 of us, I think. Half of us were 8th graders, the other half was 7th graders. And like we had, like, because our group was so big, we had like our own spot. So like our spot was like by the lockers, by the cafeteria, and everyone knew not to even walk there. Not necessarily walk there, but not to like try to claim that spot because it was our spot, you know. And we were consistently there. So it was like our group, the genres we listened to was anywhere from like metal and steampunk maybe all the way to like regular soft rock, you know. So we didn't keep in touch. Like, unfortunately, me and like those other 7 people aren't even friends anymore. And it's not like we like chose not to be friends. It's just because literally like our lives took us to different places, so it just never really stuck for us, I want to say. But let's not forget about the concerts, like just for this genre and this genre alone, you know. Like, I know everyone that's been to, not that I know everyone, but I know everyone that's been to a music festival know how crazy it could get, right? And I'm not talking about like drugs and overdosing. I just mean like how hyped up everyone gets at these music festivals. And it's like insane. It's like so much fun. If you haven't gone, I recommend. But I'm not the coolest person, so I've never been to like a concert that just is for one band. I have, however, gone to at least 2 of the Warped Tour festivals before they even stopped being. No, I did not go to the last one. That made me really sad because I really, really wanted to go. Because like 95% of the bands I liked were gonna be there. You know, so I did go to the 2 previous Warped Tours before the last one, and it was honestly like so much fun. Like, they're the nicest people there in the crowd. Like, you guys, like, it, I know it's like super scary because, you know, in movies you see like people going to like rock concerts and stuff, like always getting, you know, hopped up on drugs and shit. But like at Warped Tour, you don't even know. Like, it was so much fun. People were so nice. Like, there was a moment where I did get separated from my fiance for 20 minutes, and I still had a good time because one of the girls there, like, we ended up like hanging out there in the crowd. And then one of the guys, like, it was like a straight party scene because he literally had his arm around me, and somehow I ended up on his Snapchat. But it was like literally so much fun because we were like singing along to the band, we were still dancing around. Like, it wasn't even remotely scary, like, at all. It was amazing. If you haven't gone to a festival or a concert, I highly recommend it, because like seriously, you guys do not know how much fun it is until you go. Like, it's not scary at all. You know, and then sometimes at those festivals people get lucky. You know, people get lucky and keep in contact and, you know, get each other's social media and stuff. And I regrettably did not even get a chance to do that with the guy because it was like literally like a split second. Like, one day we're singing along to the band. I mean, one moment we're singing along to the band. The next thing I know, he got somewhere lost in the crowd, and then my fiance found me. You know, it's kind of sucked, but it was cool. You know, so now I think I listen to a lot of pop and mainstream music now. You know, I don't think we started listening, and by we I mean me, started listening to like pop or mainstream music until maybe mid-high school. You know, and it's literally, that's not true. I didn't like start in high school. It was like, I knew about Drake and I knew about Kanye and I knew about Rihanna way before high school. I just never really paid attention to them. But I want to say it wasn't until high school when it is like, that's kind of when I think I started listening to it more often than most. You know, so now it's like, sometimes I listen to it obviously a lot more now. And it's mostly just because I get too lazy to plug in my phone in the car. Because that's ultimately like where the majority of the time I listen to music. Like, I listen to music in between classes. when I'm walking to class, but it's not like, it's not always rock either, too, because of my playlist. Like, my playlist is very mixed. There's a little bit, so there's no baracha in it, but there's actually, like, a little bit of rock, there's a little bit of punk, there's a little bit of pop, rap, you know, so that's pretty much what I listen to. Next week, we're gonna talk about how music affects me and how studies show how it affects people. You know, it's, the studies, mind you, are focus groups, so it is still technically biased because, you know, certain people had done it. And those are all like public information too, so anyone can look it up. Well, thanks so much for listening to my beautiful people. This was your host, Allie, and we'll see you next time.